When I record podcasts, I like to stay hydrated. Who knew talking could be so hard? My favourite drink to have to hand is Lifeline's Hydro OG. It's a tried and tested product for me. It helped me and my team complete a 24-hour podcast, giving us the edge that we needed to get over the finish line. So whether you're at the gym, on a bike ride, or just trying to get over that night before, Lifeline's Hydro OG has got your back. Each serving is stocked with all the healthy ingredients and vitamins you could ask for. There are a great range of flavours, and with each serving at only 18 calories, you really can't go wrong. Here at the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, we like to support local, independent companies and brands, and Lifelines is a product that I am proud to endorse. Go to lifelines.com. Now that's LYFELINEZ.com to find out more. Now, without further ado, here is today's episode. Hi guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm doing the awkward thing, walking around Theatre Severn with a microphone. Everybody looks at me like I'm deranged. But today we're here to speak to some of the cast for art. We've been following the Shropshire Drama Company production. We spoke to Derek Willis, and I'm here with Neville Street. He's here with me. He's come and pick me up, so thank you, Neville, for that. So we're here now. Just picked up my tickets. We're going to take a walk around. We're not going to be able to record any of the show, of course. That would be copyright. But we'll speak to some of the cast and find out their reactions before, afterwards, and maybe get to speak to some of the people that have watched it and to see if they enjoyed it and what they thought. So, yeah, this should be good. Biscuit at the theatre. Cool. So we're backstage. I've never been here before. I'm in the dressing room of Theatre Severn, and I'm here with Derek. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. How are you, Alex? Thanks for coming.
I'm really excited. I've never done the whole backstage thing at a theatre, so thank you so much for giving me your bucket list. Done.
Well, next time you can actually be in the show and kind of spend the whole week here. Make it your home.
Don't tempt me. You know, it's not about being the centre of attention, but I think it is actually about sort of like being someone else. That's really attractive.
It is kind of nice going on stage, having people watching you, doing things that in real life you'd have real consequences for. So everybody wants to be the baddie, and being the baddie's great. So yeah, and having people fall in love with you who are, and the normal course of things wouldn't give another look to you. So yeah, but that's the strange thing of being a director is I don't get any of that. So I just watch everybody else do it.
Well, see, now you've got the unique position of sitting there either cringing, joyfully watching things, or what is the process going through your head right now?
As director, you feel really, really redundant when the show starts running because it kind of doesn't belong to you anymore. You've created this space, you've helped all the people make the story, we've had kind of ways of how we're going to say this line, you've done all the lights, you got the stuff sorted on the set, and then literally I'm becoming the audience and I'm sitting and watching it. The bit I really enjoy is having other people watch something you've worked on and listening to where they laugh, listening where it all goes quiet, and it's really nice kind of going, oh right, yeah, we got that bit right, they're laughing at that. But the team get to have all the fun of doing it. I just sit there and wait until the show's over and I can go to the pub with everybody else.
Amazing. How have rehearsals gone? Has it gone smoothly? Have there been difficult bits for the guys to get used to?
This rehearsal thing has just been an absolute dream, and I've really loved it. And I'm not just saying that because they're all going to listen. The difficult bit is that it's a really, really difficult play. It shouldn't look difficult, and hopefully it looks easy. But the three parts are really difficult, and it's this combination of a group of flawed people. So you should like them, but also not like them at the same time. So it's been hard for the three guys to try and find how do I make this guy likeable, but how do I make it that actually you understand why I'm being flawed. So that's been hard, but it hasn't been hard work. It's just been fun, which, to be honest, is what it should be, and it's why we're doing it, isn't it?
As a mogul, watching from the outside, I feel like the two difficult roles to play as the comedy relief and the villain. So it's about finding that balance. Not balance, but I guess you can either go all the way out there, or you can kind of play it safe with a few things. How much of this is all the way out there, and how much of it is it kind of safe? And you know what's...
Yeah, I mean, it's not panto, is it? If you push it too far and you push it for laughs, you stop making it real. This is unlike anything else I've seen, in that there's not a goodie, there's not a baddie, there are three goody buddies. and what's so hard about it is you just watch the way these men relate to each other, and you kind of go, oh God, so-and-so I was friends with, and we got into a relationship like that, and it's really unhelpful. Or I'm always trying to make people get on, and that's really unhelpful. And so standing outside of it's quite painful. So yeah, it's there's no goodie in this, and they all have to run the risk of being slightly unliked, which as actors is quite hard, because you want everybody to applaud you and love your part. So even when you're the baddie and you're kind of, cackling, everybody loves to see the baddie, don't they?
Yeah.
And in the end, we're all a bit bored when the romantic lead comes on, because it's a bit dull, isn't it? But yeah, there's no stereotype, and if they ended up becoming stereotypes, we'd lose the play. So yeah, and it's 64 pages of just three guys. They have to be able to trust it that the other person knows the line, or if they've forgotten the line, that the other guy's going to rescue them. So, And again, you shouldn't be able to spot that as the people watching it.
We're going to speak to some of the actors in a second, but are these guys that have worked together before, and do they know each other, or have they all come in separately?
So I knew all three of them through separate things. But we did auditions, because the first thing was looking at the way the three people interact. Can I actually believe that they're friends? Because their friendship starts to fracture fairly early on in the show. So if you don't get a sense in which they've been friends for 15 years, the whole thing just falls apart. Yeah. So it was, can they act? Actually, do they fit the part? But as this threesome, do you kind of get a sense of why they're friends?
What about chemistry, right?
Yeah. I mean, that sounds wrong, doesn't it? But,
yeah, it's true.
But yeah, kind of, are they... Is there a sense of which they've hung out together a lot of time? Is there a sense of which there's a history with it? And yet it's not written in the script, but it's like, why are they friends in the first place? So we just sat down, kind of going, well, having read the script through, going, why do you think they are? And so we had to come up with an answer for that we kind of worked on. Yeah. So we went, well, most blokes like sport. Outside of kind of being part of an amateur drama or something like that, or music or performing, sport is the thing that kind of brings people together.
It's always the thing at the bar, isn't it? That's usually like the cliche thing, two guys sat at the bar or something.
And so we imagined that they ran a rugby club, and one of them was the chairman, the other one was the vice chairman, and the other one was the treasurer. And those roles within the committee sort of fitted a little bit of what the power struggle was between the three of them. So, of course, the audience isn't going to pick up on that, but it's like, for us starting, where is it that we go from, and where is it that blokes tend to have relationships with each other outside of work? So
it's interesting. I've mentioned this. I was mentioning Nev's here as well. How are you, Nev? You all right?
Hi, Alex. How you doing?
It's crazy, right? Because we've been flirting online for about a year now. We never really actually met.
Cheeky monkey.
Thank you so much for the lift today. My car is due for its MOT tomorrow, but it kind of ran out 2 days ago, because that's the only time I can get in my car in. So thank you for coming to get me. Shropshire Drama Company putting something like this together. What is the process like for you? Are you delighted that this is here at the Theatre Severn?
Yeah, I mean, Theatre Severn is it's a fantastic resource for Shrewsbury. It's a great theatre. It's really well built. It's got a great stage. It's got a great backstage. It's got a professional marketing team, and it's really exciting to come here and put a production on, because it's. Derek's probably mentioned this, but you can't kind of put your finger on it. But it's just really exciting, and to see people reacting to a play that you've chosen sort of 4 or 5 months ago, and you've seen it develop, and we've decided that's the play we're going to do. Then we did the publicity for it, and then we did design the posters, and then we did the auditions, and then we get a cast, and then we start rehearsing with them, and you go for that process. Then you get to the point where, hold on a minute, this is something that's really, really special. And it actually gets quite emotional,
How long does it take, though? How long has it taken you from the beginning right to now?
Well, we decided the play was going to be out back in June, I think, because of the summer break. I think Derek wanted to get the cast in, get the tickets on sale on the website, get all the promotional stuff done, the poster design and everything, and then spend a bit of time with some of the actors on some of the really big speeches they've got, and then start rehearsing properly from September.
Yeah, really good. And what is your role today?
Today, I'm stage manager today.
Stage manager. And what does that intake? What do you have to do?
Right, well, I've got to make sure everything's rolling and working well. Got to give the actors their notices for 30 minutes, 50 minutes, and then I'll do the warm-up with them and get them on stage on time, liaise with the theatre technicians and the staff to make sure everybody's in, sort out the props desk. Obviously, you can't see it because it's
audio.
It's audio, but all the props are set on a table, and we draw around them, and then we write on in the boxes what they are. So then nothing goes missing. The next thing I've got to do is put a big white painting on stage, and then make sure everybody's okay, and then 6 minutes time, and go and call the actors to do their vocal warm up.
Nice.
Did that make sense?
I think it's because I'm getting an idea of Derek's role and your role. You're there to make sure that it's acted properly and they remember the lines and people are reacting properly, and you're there to facilitate the show and make sure it runs properly. So it's just giving me an idea of things. Well, you know what? Thank you so much for inviting me today.
We've also got a deputy stage manager who liaises with the technicians on the lighting and sound cues, and she is really, really important.
Yeah. So
she's also got really good taste in men.
Yeah. Yeah. How so?
Yeah, because she's married to me. Why did you need to ask?
That's what I mean. How so? I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's interesting with thinking how long do these things take. I've had art in my head as a play I've wanted to do for years. So as a director, you have all these bits of really good to try and do that, and they just kind of happen. Actually, looking at some of the people I know, they'd be quite good at that. So you guys did it in June. I think I started seriously thinking about art as soon as Bouncers was over.
Yes, we did actually.
To go actually, Bouncers is such a physical play with not very much finesse in the words, but the finesse in where you go across. I'd really like to show I'm not a one-trick pony, and I want to direct something that's really wordy. Art would be the thing to go next, so I've been thinking about it for the full year.
Does that add pressure on it then? Because you've been thinking about it for so long, and you're like, oh, this is my moment, like, it's got to be right.
I think it's different if it's like I've always wanted to play that part, the poor actor that ends up having that part gets picked on. If it's I've always wanted to tell this story, the emphasis goes on how you tell the story, so the actors are part of that. So it's the whole thing rather than you've got to make that performance the way I would have done it. And I'm not sure I'd want to act in art. I think it's amazing, but I kind of at the end of every rehearsal go, I'm really sorry you auditioned. You just need to go home and learn all those lines. I love directing it and I love watching it. I'm not sure I'd want to be in it, but don't tell them that.
Is it like a Kevin Smith movie, just dialogue heavy? Just anyway, I'll leave you guys to get ready. I know you got a show to get sorted, and if you find me an actor or two, maybe to speak to, that'd be amazing.
Come with me, Alex.
Okay, I'm going to keep the mic rolling. We'll call this a biscuit run, where we. Okay, so we're now going. Oh my God, we're going on the stage. Where's my phone? I want to get pictures of this.
Okay.
Get my.
Cool.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the set.
This is the set. I want to get some pictures of this. This is quite cool. So we just walked now. I'm actually on the stage. You can see all the seats. The last time I was here, we watched the Tempest, which Maggie Love put on with Shropshire Theatre. When you are putting a show together, and it becomes this is the opening night. What does this look like to you as someone who's made something? Does this ever get boring, or is this a special sight to see?
It's special. It never gets boring, but then it's over in a flash. All that 6 months of build up, and from just the acorn of an idea to where we are now with a specifically designed stage set. One thing we do at Shropshire Drama Company is we concentrate on minimalist sets, and we concentrate on good costume and good acting. That's our kind of ethos, I suppose, really.
Yeah, because I guess then you are paying the viewers are paying attention to
They're not seeing a cluttered set. And they're actually seeing the actors. And
that's
makes it easier.
That's what I liked about The Tempest. And I'm going to compare that to your show. That wouldn't be fair, but like they just had a box, and it was very. There was a podium and a box.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't much on stage at all. So you just zoomed in on the actors.
Absolutely, and the beauty of Shakespeare is, of course, the language.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah. Well, I'm going to.
The actors will be back in a minute, so.
Well, what I'll do is I'll put a stop on this, and then when the actors get back, we'll have a chat with them.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
And we'll do 1 to 16 start with. Okay. Ready? Deep breath in. And
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16.
Bars. Okay, we begin with B. 2, 3, 4. T. S. Sir. Okay. Chicken tikka masala and pilau rice 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Chicken tikka masala and pilau rice. Chicken tikka masala and pilau rice. Chicken tikka masala and pilau rice. Marilyn Monroe. Let's have the accentuation on the row. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe.
I'll start slightly quicker so it's shorter this time. Okay, so just follow the pattern. Okay?
You're all right.
Kumala, Kumala, Kumala Vista.
Kumala, Kumala, Kumala Vista.
Oh, 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 la vista.
Oh, 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 vista.
In a mini, yes, a mini, you out to out a mini.
In a mini, yes, a mini, you out to out a mini.
Oh, 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 la vista.
Oh, 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 la vista.
Ready? Tempo up. Kumala, Kumala, Kumala Vista.
Kumala, Kumala, Kumala Vista.
Oh, oh, la vista.
Oh, oh, la vista.
In a mini, yes, a mini, you out to out a mini.
In a mini, yes, a mini, you out to out a mini.
Oh, oh, la vista.
Oh, oh, la vista.
One step up. Kumala, Kumala, Kumala Vista.
Kumala, Kumala, Kumala Vista.
Oh, oh, la vista.
Oh, la vista.
In a mini, yes, a mini, you out to out a mini.
In a mini, yes, a mini, you out to out a mini.
Oh, la vista.
Oh, la vista.
Yes.
Wonderful.
David.
Oh, sorry.
Be brilliant. Woo.
That was wonderful. I haven't heard Kumala Vista since my days at the prison. And that sounds terrible. I was an actor at Shrewsbury Prison.
Yeah.
So, would you like to introduce yourself and your role that you're playing today?
Hello, I am Ben Christie and I am playing Serge.
How much preparation has gone into this role? I was just chatting to Derek and he said it's very dialogue heavy.
Yes, very dialogue heavy. There's 3 of us and I think we've basically got about the same amount, so it's kind of split into a third each. I think we started preparing back in, I think I first read it in about July, something like that. Actually really started preparing for the role, maybe earlier than that.
So do you have to like really study this thing every week then, just to get the script over and over again until it becomes sort of nature to you?
Yes. Yeah, with this play especially, because the first time you read it, you can read it as essentially 3 people being angry with one another. But that's quite boring to watch. So to make it more interesting, and actually when you start to read each character and the way they interact, you realise that it's about friendship and it's about people who do actually love each other, but they just don't know how to talk about it and they don't know how to express it. So they're not angry with each other all the time. There are moments of anger, but actually there's moments when they're really trying to sort each other out and actually become friends again after 15 years when, they haven't maintained a friendship.
We've all been there, haven't we? We've been a night out with our mates. Why don't you just F off or whatever you? And then at the end of the night, you're like, do you know what? I love you, man. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to say that sort of thing.
Yeah, but without the alcohol in this case.
Yeah, of course.
We don't get to drink it. I'll let you into a secret. It's just a bit of lemon iced tea. So.
How does it feel being here at Theatre Severn?
It's great. I mean, I've performed here a few times, and this is one of my favourite rooms to play. It's a lovely room to play, and we normally, hopefully, get good audiences. So,
well, I'm really, really excited about it. Is there any things that you're working on as well as this? Are you a working actor? Is there?
No, I'm a writer mostly. So,
you're a writer,
yeah.
Okay.
But for companies and things like that, I write speechwriter and copywriter. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I wish you the best of luck
Thank
tonight.
you very much.
And I'll be in the crowd, and I hope it goes well for you.
And David loves to do interviews. He's really
He ran off. I was like, he wants to do an interview, and he was gone. Cheers. Anybody else want a quick chat with me? Yeah? We'll chat to Mr. Kumala Vista. I'm so glad you chose Kumala Vista to do. We used to do that as warm-ups because I did a bit of acting at the Shrewsbury prison.
Yeah.
And it's a good warm-up. It's just got everybody.
I always worry that I'm absolutely butchering it. Do you know what I mean? Because I just remember I had it from an acting teacher once, and I was like, oh, that's great because it's so energetic, isn't it? Gets everyone going. And I'm always like, I must be saying this wrong. It sounds wrong.
It doesn't matter though. No, exactly. That sounded amazing. From what I could hear through my headphones here, that's a really amazing piece of audio. Anyway, we haven't got your name.
It's Tom Scott.
Tom Scott. How long have you been acting for?
Yeah, so I am sort of all my life. Really, I've been acting professionally with the same agent for 5 years now, and then so I went to university. I did law at university randomly, and then I did sort of a part-time drama school when I came out of uni. And been working professionally ever since. Wow.
And this as a play. Has this been quite technical for you to learn? A lot of dialogue?
Yeah, for sure. There's one particular speech that I have in the middle that's sort of 3.5 pages long, and you get.
Oh, you got that one. Derek did mention that on the podcast.
Yeah, I got that one. And you get sort of halfway through it, and you're like, how am I still talking? Like, how is this still going on? But yeah, no, it's a really fun play, and I've always sort of since coming out of university mostly been sort of put romantic leady parts, and this is a little bit more challenging, and there's more to the character than I ordinarily get, which is nice.
Is there anything that's in this that actually speaks to the common conceptions or misconceptions of blokes and their friendships as an outside view?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's I think I heard Ben in passing, but it's we sort of went through the first read through of it and went, what? Why are they friends? And then you sort of, the more you work on it, you're like, oh no, it makes loads of sense that they're friends for these particular reasons. And I think if you sort of just at a very base level analyse your relationships with your mates, you'd be like, why are we mates? But if you want to look into it, I mean, me and my mates insult each other constantly. But that's sort of the point of it.
That's the best part about friendships. I mean, I might bleep out, I might not, but if you can walk up to your mate and go, right, bed, and he's absolutely fine with that, you kind of your mates.
100%. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for chatting to me. I hope today goes really, really well. I think a really important thing I want to ask actually is, we talk about 3 pages of dialogue.
Yeah.
What tools or what do you use to memorize all of that? Do you have like a memory palace, or like how do you do?
Honestly, it's just ridiculous amounts of repetition. But I use this a shout out for it's called Line Learner, the app. It's free, and it's so good. You can sort of record yourself and record other people's parts, and you can get it to just read their parts or just read your parts, and I write it down relentlessly. I listen to it over and over again, and eventually it just sort of settles.
So you're in the shower doing lines.
Exactly. All day. Honestly, it's just constant at the moment. Just got like AirPods in and just walking around the house, just going like, yes, yeah.
Where can people find your social media? You got
Yeah, sure. So my acting name's Alexander Scott on Spotlight and all casting databases, and then just Tom Scott, and you'll see me in bios.
Wonderful. Thank you for chatting to me.
Not at all, thank you.
Break a leg is what they're supposed to say.
Thank you very
much. Right, okay. Dave, who ran off when I waved the mic at him, I've been encouraged to just chase him down and give him an interview. All right, Dave?
Hi, how you doing?
How long have you been acting for?
Oh, blimey. I started off, I think, I was 5, and I was the wolf in Peter of the Wolf, and something went into me at that. Like it's very early age, obviously, but there was just that feeling of like prancing around on the stage and people laughing and clapping when you'd finish.
You control people's emotions.
Absolutely, yeah. You can be if you're somebody like me who isn't necessarily comfortable in their own skin, you can be somebody else and be however you want to. You can be whatever you want to be by being somebody else.
I find it quite therapeutic. I like playing, like, I talk about my time at the prison as if it's like this amazing thing that I did compared to what you guys do. It's nothing, but playing a really horrible person, it's just one of the most amazing things, because it's quite therapeutic, really, just to tell people rude things, and, you know.
Yeah, and that's pretty much my role in this play. I am the one that really, out of the three of us, we've all got elements of being pretty unpleasant, I think, but I make it into an art form in this play. I say some pretty horrible things about my two colleagues to their faces, and yeah, and it is. It's a great role to have. I've got the best role in the in the play, as far as I'm concerned.
Does it keep you calm and collected to be able to get all that out of your system, and then you like walking on a bed of roses, or you know floating through the meadows the next day because you've just got it all out of your system?
No, because at the time I'm absolutely frantically trying to remember what the next line is, where I'm supposed to be. And it's all going through your head. It's interesting when especially when you're in a small play like this, where you're not getting any downtime. You're on the stage pretty much all the time. I've got one scene where I'm not on the stage. The rest of the time I'm on the stage all the time, and it's actually quite intense when you do it. Everything else goes out of your head, and all you do is you're concentrating on what you're doing, who you are. To the point where, in this play, pretty much by about halfway through, I've forgotten who I am completely. I am Mark, and I am being Mark, and totally engrossed in being the role. And that's something that it's nice to be able to immerse yourself in it. It's nice not to have to go off, because you don't get the opportunity to wander off and think about what you're going to have for dinner and things like that. It's brilliant.
I've asked about remembering lines, and I've asked about sort of like how this play sort of reflects into actual life and things. And I'm not trying to jinx you here, and I hope I don't, but like as an experienced actor yourself, when you do make a gaffe on stage and you forget your lines and stuff, how do you get out of that professionally?
Professionally, you rely on the memory of your other two colleagues on stage to get you out of it. And I think we know each other. We've all. Tom and Ben haven't worked together before. I've worked with both Tom and Ben before, and they're both people I know that I can trust. And the more of this that you do, the more used you are. The more you get used to actually being aware of when people are stumbling, especially when you've rehearsed it as much as we've rehearsed this one. You immediately know where the pauses are going to be. You know if somebody's suddenly got something, and then you've got to find a way of getting out of it. And you can't prejudge that. It's got to be thought of at the moment. If somebody drops a line, sometimes you get somebody will come in with a line maybe that they've already said earlier in the play, and you've got to find your way.
They jump the gun a little bit.
They jump the gun, and you lose an important scene. So you've got to try and bring it back in some way. So it doesn't happen very often, to be fair, but on the rare occasions that it does, and now you're talking about it, I'm worried sick it's going to happen tonight.
No, I've got all the faith in the world.
But on the rare occasions it does, I think that's something that is something you learn. The more you do of this crap, the more you learn about how to get yourself out of sticky positions.
And I guess it's been quite a bullshit kind of play, with blokes being those kind of boisterous characters. I guess you could probably get away with a bit of improvisation. Oh, you dickhead, or something like and that's part of the. If you're immersed in the role, and during rehearsals, it's difficult because you never really. It's not until you get onto the stage, get into the place that you're going to do the performance, that you can really bury yourself into the role you're playing. But once you're in that, then you can, you find it comes from somewhere. You find words that come out and get you out of a situation. They may not be in the script. That's a day to day for me. That's pretty much how I live life. Well, thank you so much for chatting to me. Where can people find you if they want to find you on social media, or if they want to hire for a role or anything like that?
Me personally, or the company. We're Shropshire Drama Company. So if you search for us on Facebook, you'll find us.
Wonderful.
Good. All right.
Thank you. Break a leg.
All right,
So-
I'll tell you quickly.
I'm Alex I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. We've been getting interviews with the cast beforehand. We've just finished the show. Art, what did you think of it?
We came out very, very pleasantly surprised. It was. We heard that it was a one act play with three characters about a white piece of painting. We thought, well, I wonder what this is going to be like. And we came out, and we've enjoyed every minute of it. Actually, it was jolly worth seeing.
There's a lot of dialogue in there, isn't there? But it's all quite meaningful stuff, isn't it? About three friends trying to...
Yes, I mean, I think it's very French. It's from the French sort of rationalist movement, I think, and you could tell it's been translated from that. But if you like intellectual debate and argument, it'll appeal very much indeed. Sometimes quite hard to follow what they're going through, but it's quite a challenge.
It's made me realise there's a difference between sort of French ideals of friendship and the way we do things here.
Yes, very different indeed. Mind you, we like that sort of thing and appreciate the intellectual cut and thrust. And there's a lot of existentialist sort of feelings coming across. But fundamentally, it's about three friends trying to find out what's at the base of their friendship. Actually, so it's got a real heart to it.
It doesn't matter. I was looking at that and thinking they're talking about art, and they're trying to talk about culture in quite a classy way.
Yes.
When it comes to friendships, it comes down to a very sort of I don't know what the word for it. Basic.
It's very basic
instinct, sort of
basic instinct. Well, actually, it comes down to love, and so how can you heterodyne love onto an intellectual wavelength, as it were? And I think this play sort of makes a little bit of a bridge between the two. You could see the three friends in the end preferred to remain friends. And friendship is something which we don't know very much about in this country. I think in France they probably know a little bit more about it, I think, in their culture.
I feel like a good friendship needs to be tested.
Yes, they certainly tested each other.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to me today. I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
Pleasure. Really enjoyed it.
Cheers. Right, so the cast are resetting for tomorrow, so we're not going to go and pester them. I spoke to Nev and he was like, we're going to reset and they're going to go to the pub. They invited us to the pub afterwards, but we're going to go and get our boy from his nans. But the show was fantastic, and of course we couldn't get any of the show on the podcast. That would be terrible, but I've got to tell you that the performances were very, very good. The three guys, speaking to one of the actors afterwards, he said he remembered 90% of his lines, but of course we wouldn't know any different. They delivered it perfectly, and we were talking about the large bits of dialogue in the middle there, the three pages of dialogue that are delivered right in the middle of the play there, expertly delivered, and actually got a round of applause afterwards because that was quite difficult, but again, brilliantly delivered. I want to say thank you to Derek and to Nev for inviting us tonight. It's been wonderful. Go backstage and get interviews and enjoy the free show as well. That was really good. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you share this with your friends. I'm going to do it. Right, so there we have it. What a great bit of audio. It's a couple of days after the show, and I recorded a bit afterwards, walking out the theatre, and we were walking really quickly up towards Frankwell car park to go and get Timmy from his nuts. I was so out of breath that you could barely understand what I was saying, so I've re-recorded it. And you know what? I've had a couple of days to reflect on the show and the interviews that we did. I've had to listen back to them, and I've got to say, it's an amazing experience to be able to go and speak to the actors before a show, watch the show, and then get reactions afterwards, but also like see how it all unfolds. And it was a really good experience. But getting to do Kumala Vista was really, really fun. That was something we used to do. I mentioned in the podcast, something we used to do before a whole day of acting at Shrewsbury Prison. And it really was just great to be in that again. And I had a good go, and that was me singing with them too, singing with it. And it was a great experience to witness that again. The delivery of the show was just phenomenal. It was dialogue heavy, very, very dialogue heavy. And I think the 3 actors involved in that did a great job, because when it's like a 3-person cast and it's all just one big scene, just bleeding into the other, it's I imagine that's quite demanding, because there's not like a whole cast where people are, looking around. They're all focused on you and your lines, and I imagine that's quite difficult. But the guys absolutely nailed it. And we mentioned that the huge bit of there's a 3-page bit of dialogue towards the end, and Tom delivered that perfectly. In fact, he got a round of applause afterwards, because this massive long bit of dialogue he just reeled off with absolute excellence, and definitely deserved a round of applause. I want to say a huge thanks to Derek and to Nev for inviting me to this. It really is nice to just be able to go backstage, speak to the cast and stuff, and it's not something we've really done an awful lot of on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, and we've got a meeting soon with Brad Fitt to speak to him about the panto. I feel like working more with Theatre Severn is something that we can definitely lean into with the Shrewsbury Biscuit. If you'd like to see more of that, please let us know, because it's good to support the local arts, isn't it? And I've definitely enjoyed this one. So thank you so much to the guys. Thank you for listening. And I just got to let you guys know that things are going to be changing at the Biscuit soon. We're going to be completely rebranding the logo. I mean, I like to keep things fresh anyway. If you look back at some of the old podcast artwork, the logos have always kind of kept things moving and keep things fresh, get people, looking at what we're doing and paying attention. But I feel like the logo needs to be a bit more slick, something that we can really use on lots of different things. And also, we're building a new website thanks to Pete White and the guys at the Web Orchard. They're going to be building us a fantastic website. So the logo change and the new look of the show, it couldn't come at a better time. So I just want to give a shout out to Web Orchard and say, like, if you guys do need a website for anything, absolutely anything, the Web Orchard have got your back. Please tell them that if you heard about Web Orchard and the power of the biscuit, let them know that it's working. But anyway, I'm going to sign off, and thank you to everyone we spoke to for this podcast, and thank you for listening. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.